Site that we're about to talk about, Terminal Transfer. These are the guys that held my product cases for about a month. That's the right there. This is what it looks like.
I'm a witness to all this stuff that's happened, and in my opinion, I also think that they're a piece of shit company.
Piece of shit company. So me and my girlfriend
Big
both
waste
agree,
of time.
and she totally, the story I'm about to tell you. She is a witness to everything that happened, and. Hey, so how you guys doing? All right, so before we get into this video, I'll tell you the story. Been liking this AC/DC. It's pretty cool. High CBD, a decent amount of THC, and I like it. So as a lot of you guys know, that's kind of a lame hit, but as a lot of you guys know, I wasn't able to smoke weed for a long time until I recently found these higher CBD strains and got the balls to fucking smoke it, because I always took my anxiety. But anyway, that's a whole different story. This stuff, if you're having that problem, try it. Try some AC/DC. Start out slow, but so far, I mean, I haven't had not one bad experience on it yet, and so I can't wait till I can smoke a whole bowl of it and then go, cool, I feel great. And then this is my buddy right here. This is Stoner Leo. Yeah, Stoner Leo. But anyway, so yeah, sit on the thing. Come on, buddy. He's heavy. He's a big puppet. Got him for $30. I couldn't believe it at one of those stores. I can't remember. Here's what happened, and it's up to you what you're going to do. But what I want to personally do before I tell you the story, if you're convinced by this story and know that I'm telling the truth, and know that my girlfriend is testifying that she witnessed everything, and she witnessed it all. They held on my product for a month. I'm reporting the Better Business Bureau. I'm going to vote them a 1-star rating everywhere I possibly can find a place, like Google and Yelp and Yahoo, fucking anything. Classifieds, anywhere I can find where I can give them a rating, they're getting 1-star rating. And if you guys know of any of the companies that are like the Better Business Bureau, please let me know. I'm reporting them everywhere. If I had the time, I really want to sue them. If I had the time, I would definitely sue them. It's just, I'm so always booked for time. I running 2 different companies. I just do so much stuff, and it's really hard to even have time for my hobbies. I'm just so busy. It sucks sometimes, but hey, that's all right. So here's the story, right? So first off, they're based out of Seattle, Washington, and also in Portland, Oregon. Like that's like 2 of their main bases. You can actually go to their website, which I just showed you, and click on contacts, and it shows you the CEO, the vice president, and all that's right there. All the companies there. So I call up, I talk to, I believe it's Tori. And I keep calling, keep asking, hey, what's going on? I've been waiting a long time. Where are my cases at? Right? These are the big Goliath cases. Where are they at right now? Oh, well, they're still in Washington. They're in Seattle. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, why is it taking so long to drive from Washington to Portland? It doesn't take that long. I can do it in 4 hours. Like, what's going on? So I also this time was using other companies like Roadrunner and stuff like that, and so I called up some of those guys, the truckers from those companies, and one of the guys that delivered more of my products to me was like, hey, I was like, what? I'm like, have you ever heard of this other company? And they're, he's like, no, not really. He's like, but what I do know is what you said is a lot of the smaller companies, if they're not like a super huge company like Roadrunner, and that's who this guy was working for. Roadrunner got it to me in like 5 days, and sometimes they get stuff shipped to me from California, and like they'll get to me, boom, within like 5 days, no problem, 3 to 5 days. Like they're fast, and that's on a freight truck. They have to drive all the way past me to Portland, and then drive back to me from Portland to Eugene. And I still get it in like 3 to 5 business days. That's good business. That's how it's supposed to go. Well, he said when smaller companies, what they'll do, and they don't tell the customer that they'll wait until whatever truck they have that your stuff's in, they'll wait until that truck is completely full, right, for economical reasons for them. It doesn't help you at all. It actually costs me a lot of money. I'll just tell you right now, it cost me $1,000 just to drive up there twice, and I'll tell you why I had to drive up there twice to get my products. Also, it cost me a lot of refunds, which I don't mind so much. I like, whoever got a refund, please don't feel bad, okay? I fully am happy to give refunds to people that were waiting that long. That's ridiculous, right? I lost it a few times, and I haven't lost it in a long time. I meditate all the time. I have good control of myself, and I let it get to me. And I had to meditate before I went down there, because I was like, if I don't get this under control, how I feel about this company as far as emotions go, if I don't get my emotions under control, I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to end up going to jail. And so I had to meditate, a couple times just before I even went down there. So he said, yeah, that's what they do. They hold on to your products for a really long time until their truck's full, and then they drive it. So they held on. This is what I imagine happened then. I can't say for sure it's what they did. I don't know what they were doing. All I know is they kept giving me lies after lies. I'll talk about it in a second. So I imagine they held onto my product there for a long time until the truck was full, and then they drove it down from Seattle, Washington down to the Portland terminal. And then they kept it there for, it was like at least a week. And then that's when I found I was like, okay, I need to go up there and just get it. Because they told me it was going to take another week. If I didn't drive back up there again the second time, I would still wouldn't have the Goliaths. They wouldn't be ready because I wouldn't have the cases. Without the cases, there's no Goliath, right? I can't just send them out without a freaking case on them. So everything was ready to go. That's all I was waiting on was the cases. And all they had to do was just send them to me. Just send a trucker up. Like they should have said, you know what? We're so sorry that you had to wait so long. We'll be sure that we'll send them out on our next truck right away. You'll get them there tomorrow. Like that's what they should have did when I called. Instead, when I called, they were like, oh, I'll tell you, we'll get that stuff. But instead, they told me it's going to be like another week. And that was their excuse. It'll be tomorrow. So at first, when I called them up, after it was like a week and a half went by, I'm like, this is taking a long time, So I called them and said, hey, where are my cases at? And they said, well, who are you again? Blah, blah, act like they don't know who I am. And so I told them who I am, all that, my order number, all that kind of stuff. And they're like, oh, okay, we found you. Yeah, well, what happened was, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember the first excuse they gave me, but it's something to do with they had some miscommunication and stuff like that. And so we're sorry, but we'll give them out tomorrow. I'm like, okay, cool. So tomorrow comes and I call them back. I'm like, hey, so just check on my case again. Like, who are you? I'm talking to the same person, right? I understand. Maybe they talk to a lot of people, whatever. Cool, okay. So I'm like, this is Neil, and it's about, my cases and all my pallets of cases. Where are those pallets at? And they're like, hold on a second, I need to check. And they take a long ass time on the hold. They hung up on me, right? They didn't lose connection. They flat just hung up on me. And so I called right back and said, hey, you guys hung up on me. Oh, no, we didn't hang up on you. We just lost connection. I'm like, so does this happen to your company a lot? Do you guys lose connection a lot? Do you guys not have a good phone service? Do you guys need better phone service? At this point, I'm getting a little irritated, right? And it shows how I'm talking to them. And I'm being totally transparent, right? I'm going to show you my bad side, the things that I said that I probably shouldn't have said. But I think I was totally justified in it. And by the way, I'm surprised none of you guys cussed me out that waited so long for your Goliaths. And a lot of you guys haven't even got them yet because I believe they got picked up on Saturday because it's holidays. They usually don't pick up, FedEx usually doesn't pick up on Saturdays. But I think because of holidays they do. If not, they'll definitely be picked up on Monday. You guys all got your tracking numbers. If you didn't get your tracking numbers, just check your junk mail or just email me and I'll give it to you. So everyone that has ordered a Goliath, it's coming to you now for sure. You should have already got the tracking number. They're already there at FedEx. They should have been picked up already. If not, they'll get picked up on Monday. Same thing with Door Stars. Door Stars will be picked up on Monday. You should have your tracking numbers now through PayPal. So check that out, and also through FedEx. If not, again, just email me, and because it might have gone to your spam mail, and I'll go ahead and I'll give you your tracking number personally because I have it right there on my FedEx thing. Okay, so I'm like, that's fine, whatever. Just where's my stuff at? Is it still in Seattle? And they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, well, you said it was going out tomorrow. That's today. I'm like, well, yeah, it's gonna leave today to Portland. Okay. Call them back the next day. Hey, this is Neil again. Now at this point, maybe I'm being a little aggressive, calling every single day, but people are already contacting me saying, hey, where's my light? Where's my light? Because I'm supposed to have it. It shouldn't take more than 5 days. So I was counting on it, like Roadrunner, to have my cases in like 5 days. That's what I was counting on. At the most, a week. And now a week and a half goes by, and then people are starting, hey, and then I had to, and then I actually changed the date on my site twice. Some people didn't see the first update, and I said, okay, I'll be shipping these out by like November 29th, whatever the date was. Had to change that date. Then I finally just put sold out because I wasn't going to take any more orders anymore, not knowing when I'm getting my product, right? So I'm like, whatever. I wait a few days. I forget to call them. Wait a few days. They tell me, oh, I'm sorry, there was a delay. We'll be sending out tomorrow. I'm like, so they're still in Washington? They're like, yeah. I'm like, have they moved at all? They're like, no, they're still in Washington. We're really sorry, but they should be dispatched tomorrow. I'm like, oh, should be? Okay. And then so I kind of forgot to call for a few days, and so a few days, 3 days go by or something like that, call them again. Hey, this is Neil again. So my when can I set up an appointment? Because once they get to Portland, they set up an appointment with you right away, and they're there that day, right? When you set an appointment, sometimes the next day they'll say, well, we're too busy today, we'll set an appointment tomorrow with you, and they come that next day, and they're there on the time they say they're going to be there. So I'm like, hey, are they in Portland now? Because you told me like 3 days ago that they would be leaving. So that, does it take 2 days to drive to Portland? Because they're being dicks to me on the phone, like totally snotty. Like once I'm like, oh hey, this, and they're like, oh, like this, their whole attitude changed. They're not being nice to me whatsoever. Several times when I would call, I would get transferred to somebody else that has no idea who I am, what I'm talking about, because it's a whole different department that had nothing to do with anything that I was calling about. And then I'd be like, can you transfer me back? And then I'd lose connection, supposedly. In other words, they'd hang up on me. And then I'd call them back again and be like, hey, I'm not trying to be a dick here. I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be calm. I'm trying to be patient. Just please tell me the truth. And at this time, I've learned now, because I had another shipment come from Roadrunner, and that's when I asked the guy that question. I said, just be honest with me. Do you guys hold my product, for like 3 weeks or whatever? Do you wait till a truck's full before you dispatch it? They kept changing the subject, trying to avoid the question, didn't want to answer it, and I kept bringing it right back. I mean, I'm a debater in and out. I've been debating different topics, but mainly I love debating religion and science and stuff, and I've been debating that shit, and a lot of other topics too, but those are like the main topics I debate on Pal Talk. And before that, I was debating on Yahoo, back when Yahoo had voice chat. And before that, I was debating just on text chat when there wasn't even automatic send button. That is, you type and boom, hit send, boom. It's like regular text chat. No, this was before even that. This was when it was, and this was back when all we had was dial-up. That's how long I've been debating for. And back then, you had to type, hit send, and then in order to see responses, you had to hit a refresh button to see who responded to you. And if a bunch of people are typing at one time, you have to scroll back up to see where you last typed and to see who might have responded to you. And they had this other thing, it was like instant email almost. And so you could join like this group, and like you can see people and their profiles and stuff, and you click on them, and you basically email them like a private message, and they can email you back. And I'd have like conversations, debates that way. Anyway, so naturally my debating instincts just kick in, so I'm just like, oh, okay, so I'm like, do you or do you not wait till your truck's filled up? Well, sir, you gotta understand that, sometimes things get backed up. We're sorry that we haven't dispatched your stuff yet. I'm like, well, it just makes no sense to me because you guys, this is almost like 2 weeks now they've had my stuff, right? Well, we're right around the 2 week mark. And I'm like, you guys had my products for 2 weeks, okay? I've used other companies like Roadrunner and stuff like that, and they never have my products that long, right? So are you not waiting until a truck is filled to send me my product? They kept avoiding the question. They kept going, we're sorry, sir. We're really busy right now. You have to call back. And then sometimes they'd hang up on me. Other times they'd just be like, we really got to go. We're sorry. Nothing else we can do. I don't know how else to answer your question. I'm like, well, can you give me your supervisor? Oh, yeah, I can do that. And then in the transferring, lose the call again. Like, okay, I'm starting to get the message that, they don't want to talk to me. The thing is, I was totally cool, right, at first. It wasn't until they started lying to me that when I called, I wasn't as nice anymore. And I'm telling you right now, how I'm telling the story is exactly how I talk to them. You're going to see how I progress, and hopefully I can act it out well enough to where you can see exactly how I talk to them. So I'm like, I'm going to give them a few days. I'm going to calm down. I call back again. I think it's getting close to the 3 week mark now. I think I might have waited like a week and just said, okay, I'm like, this is ridiculous. They should be important. They should have called me by now. But like, hey, they said, hey, we're working as hard as we can. Once it's important, we'll give you a call. So I call them again. I'm like, hey, it's been a week since you last told me, and it's been like 3 weeks since you have my product. Is it in Portland yet? They're like, oh yeah, it's finally in Portland. I'm like, or then they said, yes, it's in Portland now. And I said, okay, so now that's in Portland, you guys told me you would call me. They said, oh, we were going to call you today. I'm like, what time do you guys close? They're like, oh, we close at 4:30. I'm like, well, it's already like 3 o'clock right now. That's what time I'm calling, right? And so I'm thinking, it's 3 o'clock now. You were planning to call me today. What after you were closed? When exactly were you planning to call me? Like, oh, no, we were actually, someone was just going to call you. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm like, so pretend now you just called me. Can we set up an appointment? Because I imagine that's what you called me for. So like, oh, well, look, someone will be calling you tomorrow. I was just going to call you today to remind you that we got the packages, and someone will call you tomorrow to dispatch them to you. I'm like, okay, cool. Call them the next day, and they're like, oh, someone will call you a little bit later today, right? And so I call them back again the same day. I'm like, so I've been waiting here. You guys are getting close to closing. No one's called me. You said you call me later on today. Oh, we're so sorry. Someone will definitely call you tomorrow. They kept doing this tomorrow, later to that day. Now I'm starting to get really irritated because now I know they're just flat lying to me. And why? Just be straight up with me. Whatever the problem is, you lost my packages or everything. You're trying to find them. They went and drove all the way to Alaska for some reason on accident. Whatever happened, just be honest with me. Tell me the fucking truth. You know what I mean? Like, be honest. That's like the best thing you do as a company. Just be honest. And and no, they weren't. They just kept lying to me. So I don't like being lied to. So at this point now, I'm calling back and I'm getting a little bit upset. They're starting to tap into my Buddhism here now, and I'm like, yo, you need to give me my got too much butt on there right now. Gotta take some of that out. I don't know how to get a hit out of it. I'm gonna take that piece right there out for now. Anyway, so it's not allowing enough airflow. So, I didn't say yo. So I'll try to say what I said. Remember what I said. I called him. I said, hey, how you doing? So I just want to know that, that I'm calling to set up an appointment because I'm supposed to have my packages already. You guys are supposed to call me. Keep telling me tomorrow. Tomorrow never happens. Tomorrow never comes. I'm going to call you back later on today. I get hung up on. Oh, sir, we never hang up on anybody. I'm like, that's fine. I know you hung up on me. Don't worry about it. I'm just getting sick of being lied to. Just stop fucking lying to me and make an appointment with me, please. That's all. I want my products. You've held on my products way too long. This is not normal. I highly doubt it's legal to actually do what you're doing without an actual proper excuse. And you have no excuse because you won't tell me why. You won't even tell me why I had to wait so long. Is this the normal treatment you treat? Sir, you need to calm down. I'm like, no, is this the normal treatment that you treat people with, right? I'm trying to reproduce my emotions at the time. Is this the normal treatment that you treat people with, right? Is this how you're treating all your rest of your customers? Are all your rest of customers waiting this long for their products? You keep telling them, oh, tomorrow, keep giving them lies after lies. Sir, we never lied to you. Like, yeah, you did. You told me tomorrow I'll call you. You didn't. I had to call you. You told me, oh, tomorrow they'll be dispatched. They weren't. You told me, oh, this and that and this and that and everything. Tons of lies so far. I'm like, just be honest with me. Where are my packages at? They're right here in Portland. Then why can't we set up an appointment? Oh, well, we will. We plan on setting an appointment. We'll call you later today. They don't call me later. This time I'm like, I'm not going to call them back. I'm just going to give them a chance to be honest. They don't call me back. Call them back the next day. I'm like, you said you were going to call me yesterday. Why didn't you call me? They're like, oh, something must have happened. We're sorry. This time I'm talking to someone different now. And I'm like, listen. And when I went down there, there's only a couple workers down there. So there's a few. Everyone knew me by the time it was all done because I had talked to her. They had swooped me around. Their small little people. They don't have very many people working for them. So I got to talk to everyone, to Tori, to Rachel, and to Mark, the manager, and stuff like that. And so I'm like, just look. I'm like, I need my stuff. All right, can you just please send it to me, and just make an appointment. At this time, they said, okay, how about tomorrow? Now this is how it's almost been that month mark now. I kind of skipped some other phone calls and stuff because I don't want to go through every single thing. I want to make this video too long. And they said, okay, how about tomorrow? I said, okay, that's cool. What time? Between 1 and 2. I said, fantastic, between 1 and 2. This was on Tuesday of December. Well, right now it's December 18th. So whatever date it is today, I think it's Saturday or not, Saturday, or is it Sunday now? Anyway, it was Tuesday. So from the 18th, just go back to Tuesday. That's whatever date that was. That's what day it was. It was Tuesday. And I was like, hey, so cool. So they'll be here Wednesday. And then, yeah. They called me back later that day, like right before closing. They're like, hey, is there any way you can be there between 8 and 9 in the morning? I'm like, you know what? I like the 1 and 2 time. That was perfect for me. I'm a really busy person. I'm not really a morning person anyway. I go, I'll tell you what, just in case I am still sleeping, I'm going to set my alarm and stuff like that, but just in case whatever something happens, call me. Gave him my number, and I said, call me. Don't call me. Don't like you know, leave a message if I don't answer. Keep calling me, please. When he's here, have him call me, or you guys call me when he's here, and keep calling me. Come knock on my door. I give you permission to open my gate if there's any legal reasons that you can't. So far, no other companies had problems opening my gate. It's a simple gate. Just pull the latch up, open it, and the gate slides open. It's a big, wide gate, so FedEx trucks come in, diesel trucks can come in, and you know, DHL, FedEx. I get a lot of packages from Amazon as well, but this is for light DHL, UPS, USPS, that's post office, FedEx. There's another one too, On Track, that was mainly for Amazon. All of them knew how to open my gate and come in, knock on the door, you know, whatever, right? So this is where it gets really stupid. So I'm like, okay, just because all the lies they told me, I'm not even believing they're coming. Like, I'm that skeptical. So that's why I'm making sure of all this. I'm like, I give you full permission to open my gate. Can the truck open my gate? Yeah, he can open the gate. It's fine. I'm like, can you knock on my door? Yeah, he's allowed to knock on the door. I'm like, okay. If I am not out there and for some reason you call me and I don't answer, knock on my door. Knock on my door. Like, just knock really loud. I'm right there. Right? I actually, just for all that don't know, little personal information, it's the biggest room in the house and the warmest room in the house, and it has the cool little fireplace. I think it's cool. So I actually have my living room, or my living room is my bedroom, because it was the biggest room. And so I'm like, well, the bedrooms are pretty small. I mean, I don't like these rooms at all. Like, we barely be able to fit the big bed in here and stuff, you know, and like a dresser. Like, it's just, they're so tiny. I mean, you know, they're decent size, I guess. They're like 8 feet by, I don't know how far, 8 by like 10 or something like that. That's small to me. I'm not used to bedrooms that small. So the living room is like 12 by 12. It's still not super big. I mean, that's still kind of a small bedroom to me, but it's big enough, as you saw it before, it's big enough to fit the 2 nightstands, stuff like that, right next to the cool little pellet stove, which is kind of like a fireplace. It's neat, you know? And so anyway, so right there, door's right there, front door is right there. So whenever FedEx knocks, it don't matter if it's 6 in the morning, boom, I'm up. I hear it. You know, it's not like I see through the shit. So I wake up at 9:40 or something, 9:45, something like that. I'm like, what the hell? Why? I check my phone. No phone calls at all from anybody, not from the trucker, not from the company, until 9:40. Oh no, excuse me. I wake up at 9:50 something. Sorry, I got my story a little wrong. I woke up at 9:50 something. I can't remember exactly what time it was, but it wasn't long after they had called me. They called me at 9:47 or 48, something like that. 10 minutes later or so is when I called them back. And I'm like, hey, how come you guys didn't call me when he was here? Because I said, well, first of all, I called him. I said, hey, so did I miss him, or is he here, or what happened? And they said, oh yeah, he was there at like 8 something, and he waited there for an hour. I'm like, okay, so he was here at 8 o'clock, and he didn't knock on my door. So like, well, he couldn't figure how to open the gate, or they didn't say that. They said he couldn't open the gate. Now, if there was some legal reason he couldn't open the gate, then why didn't they tell me that when I asked them, can he knock on the door? You know, I gave him permission to open my gate. Can he open the gate? So I'm led to believe that he's too retarded to open the gate. So I'm like, so he's too dumb to open a gate? Are you serious? And this is when I started getting upset. I'm like, look, FedEx opens my fucking gate. DHL opens my gate. UPS opens my gate. You know, OnTrax opens my gate. It's not hard to figure out. You got to be like fucking a retard. Sorry about that. My phone actually ran out of recording time, so that's kind of interesting. So the Note 5, because they don't let you upgrade to bigger hard drive space, so I had to go delete a couple games real quick, or transfer videos on the 2. I feel like transfer videos right now. All right, so that being said, so I can't remember where I was at. Oh yeah, so I'm like, everyone who knows how to open my gate, you have to be like practically retarded not to know how to open the gate. I'm like, was he too dumb to open the gate? And they're like, sir, all we know is that he said he can open the gate. And I'm like, I call bullshit. I'm like, this is bullshit. You're full of fucking shit. You guys are lying to me. I'm like, was he even here? Was he even here? Like, listen, he was there, and he tried to call you several times, left voice messages, and we tried to call you several times. We left voice messages. I'm like, really? Because whenever someone calls me, you know, I use a new phone. So my phone tells me when someone calls me, and it tells me the exact time they called me. And you guys didn't call me until 9:47 or 48, it's one of the two. I call you back 10 minutes later. So if he was here at 8 something, why didn't you call me then? Well, we did call you then. I'm like, how could you have called me then when my phone says you didn't? Like, oh, well, then your phone's wrong. We did call you. We called you several times. And he called you several times. I'm like, so what are the odds that two different phones, right? His phone and your phone, two different phones will call me, leave messages. My message machine doesn't pick it up. There's no messages from them. My phone shows no calls from them until 9:47, 9:48. I'm like, tell me, what are the odds that both phones that call me, my phone would not show up? This is not in my history anywhere. Guess what? It's not my phone bill either. My Verizon phone bill. So when someone calls me, even if they hang up right away, it shows up on my Verizon phone bill. It also shows up on my phone history, my recent calls, right? Nothing. I'm like, so are you sure you guys call me? Because I think in the court of law, if we were to take this to court, that the judge would see it my way, that you guys never call me, that there's no evidence you call me, you know? And like, I didn't say this because I didn't think about it, but I wonder if they can supply their phone bill and prove they called me. Let me see your phone history. Let me see your phone. When I was there, I should have asked, hey, who was it called me again? Oh, Tori, you said you called me, right? Or Rachel, which one of you that called me again while he was supposedly waiting for an hour? What trucker waits for an hour, right? Freight guys, they don't wait around. They got shit to do. They got other places to go. They got a time limit. They got to get back, right? They don't wait around, right? So suppose he waits around for an hour and doesn't even knock on the door. Why? Because he can't figure out how to open the gate. Hop over. It's like this tall, you know? It's literally like you can just pole vault over it. And not pole vault it. Just like grab your hand and just jump over it. You can like just almost step over it if you have long enough legs. It's not tall. It's a short gate. So it's not something you have to climb over. Just step right over the gate. It's super easy. Anyone can do it. You know, even someone that would be super overweight can do it, you know. Figure out how to open it. Just lift up. Come on, really can't figure out how to open a gate. So I'm like, this is fucking full of crap. I mean, you guys are full of shit. I'm like, I don't think the dude was here. I don't think you can prove he was here. And then, you know, they're like, oh, well, blah, blah. And I can't remember all I know is I lost it. And I said something like, it's hard for me to react to emotions right now. But it was very irritated. You know, you can tell I'm fucking pissed. And so I'm like, listen, motherfuckers, I'll go down the right fucking, I'm about to go down right fucking down there now, drive down there now and kick your fucking heads in right now and just fucking take my shit. That's what I'm ready to do right now. I'm ready to fucking just go and take my shit and fuck you guys. Like, I was that mad, right? And anyway, then I calmed down, called him back the next day and said, listen, let's set up another time for him to be down here. Or no, excuse me, no. Lost my story. That's not what I said. That was after I went to Portland and back. So this was still Wednesday morning. It was still morning time. I'm talking to him like right around 10:15 or so. We're still on the phone. I'm like, listen, okay, how about this? I just want to drive up there and get my stuff. That's it. That's all I want. I just want to drive and go, okay, well, there's certain paperwork you gotta bring with you. And they took forever, right? It took until like 11 something to finally send me over that paperwork. I get the paperwork. I'm like, okay, cool. This shows me. I call him back up again. And I say, hey, I want to talk to someone and deliver to be sure that you guys will be there. I talked to Tori. I'm like, okay, you're going to be open until 4:30, right? And she said, well, we'll be open until like 4. And I'm supposed to open until 4:30. That's what it says on their site and everything. And that's even what the manager said. The manager, Mark, said that they were open until 4:30 that day. So this was Wednesday morning. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to drive down there right now. So I had to go rent a U-Haul, right? Now, to drive that many miles, the amount of miles from Eugene to Portland and back, is $300 just for the U-Haul. That's just for the U-Haul. Then it costs like $100 to fill up the gas tank, like, you know, because of the traffic at one time there, because the snowstorm was coming, and it delayed me so long. I left early and didn't get there until just on time. That's crazy, right? It's crazy traffic because of snow and stuff. There was cars and ditches. It was just funny because like these people like, why are they driving snow? I understand they got to go somewhere, they're trying to go home, whatever. But come on, man. Like sometimes you just got to use your brain. And don't drive a freaking Honda that's lowered, you know, when there's a snowstorm coming. Like, people were like, you know, trying to like move in the snow, and then like I saw a few like literally just go off the road and bam, you know, no one got hurt or nothing that I saw. And people were just like parking their cars and stuff inside. Finally, it's like, why did you even take your chances? Like, you should know, and you weren't gonna be able to get through this anyway. Even with that big U-Haul, like there's a couple of times where I wasn't gonna stop uphill. Don't ever stop uphill on the snow. So I know this. And so I'm just coasting up the hill. I'm trying not to stop. There's a stop sign coming. There's a stoplight coming. Everyone's stopping. I'm like, why are they stopping? Why are they stopping? We're gonna get stuck, you know? And so I stop and I had no choice. And then, when I take off, it kind of goes like, I'm like, oh my God, big heavy truck. And I'm stuck in the snow. And so I was like, just, okay, my last chance here. I gotta just gun it and try to like fling that snow out and connect to that ground and then let go and then just just give a little bit of gas and then hopefully I'll get out of here. And so I was like, vroom, and the back end went like that and it caught and then went like that and started going. And then from that point, I'm like, I'm not stopping on the hill no more. So there's the next uphill and it was a red light and I just went right to the red light. Didn't care. Because it didn't matter because no one could move fast anyway. So I'm just like right to the red light. You know, I'm not stopping on an uphill no more. Anyway, so I get there and they're not open no more. They closed early. So I call them, no one answers. No message about us closing early, nothing like that. Just a regular normal answer machine. So they didn't bother updating the answer machine. But they did. They did. There's one thing at the very, very end of this long-ass message that says, if it's an absolute emergency, you can call this number, right? So I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. At this time, my girlfriend's already on the website. And she's like, look at this. There's a message at the top that says, we closed early. And it was like something like they closed like 1 something or something like that. I'm like, wait a minute. If they would have given me a courtesy call and called me right when they were closing early and said, hey, we know, Neil, that you're on your way. We know that we told you we'd be open and when someone would be here to help you when you got here by 4 or whatever, is what she said, but it should have been 4:30. That unfortunately, our managers told us to close down because the snowstorm is dangerous and we need to get home. He doesn't want no one getting stuck or whatever. Totally understandable, right? Unforeseen circumstances. But in such unforeseen circumstances, do you just run around like a chicken head cut off, like, oh my God, snowstorm's coming, you know? They act like it was a zombie apocalypse or like the building was on fire and they couldn't call me. Like, it takes a minute, not even that, you know? Like, really? So, you know, and I asked Tori, like, you know, you have my personal number. You can call me. And I want to make sure, you know, like, I'm going to be there. I want you to know I'm coming right now. And so she knew I was on my way. I made it very clear. I'm on my way. I got the truck already. I'm going there to pick my packages up. I want my stuff, you know? And anyway, so no courtesy call whatsoever. Like, who doesn't do that? Like, really? Oh my God, snow's coming. Drop everything. Just go home right now. Like, really? You don't have a minute to go, hey, Neil, sorry, you know, manager told us to close down. I'm so sorry. I know I told you we'd be here. Unfortunately, we can't be because of snow. And of course, I probably thought they're full of shit anyway, but, you know, in this case, they weren't. You know, the snow was pretty bad. Like, a lot of those guys would not have been able to get home. And so, so the manager did the right thing. He made the right call there. But what they didn't make the right call is me calling me saying, hey, Neil, we're sorry, but we have to close down and we're so sorry. We know you're on your way up here. It'd probably save you a lot of money because we don't know if we'll be open tomorrow either because we don't know what the snow is going to be like to just head back. They would have saved me a lot of money. They would save me like $300. At that time, you know, I wasn't that far along yet. So I could just turn back, return the U-Haul. U-Haul would have been like understanding of my story. And even if they were charging the full price of the miles I drove and everything, it would have only cost like $100 or something like that, 150 at the most, right? So instead, I'm all the way in Portland now. So now, to drive back with it, it's already $300 just for the truck, plus the gas and $100. So that's already $400 right there. I had to rent a hotel. Well, couldn't find any of the hotels are open because everyone's taking the hotels up because all the cars are breaking down. You couldn't believe how many cars are just parked on the side and people are just walking. And so all these people were pulling off and going to hotels. And so all the hotels were booked. So I had to stay at the Marriott. And all the rooms that were available were $200 rooms. So I'm like, cool. I mean, it's a nice room. It was awesome. But like $200 just for this shit, for nothing, all for nothing, you know? So I'm like, I got to try to make the best of it, you know? And so I called the emergency number when I get to the hotel room. I'm like, hey, listen, she's like, hey, this is Rachel, blah, blah. You know, can I help you? I was like, yeah, this is Neil. And she's like, oh, yeah, you know, blah, blah. I'm like, so what happened? Like, you guys closed early and you didn't give me a fucking courtesy call? And she's like, well, you know, I'm here at my house right now, and I can hear the kids in the background, so she's telling the truth, I think. And she's like, you know, we're not, you know, okay, hold on. I lost part of the story. So I wake up early in the morning, boom, right when they're open, 8 o'clock, you know, call. The answer machine says something like, oh, we're going to be opening late. I check the website, boom, it says, we're going to be opening 3 hours late due to the snow, due to the incremental weather, sorry. I'm like, okay, that's understandable. Maybe they're kind of afraid to drive their trucks or drive their cars to work, whatever. So I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. 3 hours isn't that bad. And so I call her a little bit later, like I think a 9 or something like that. And I'm like, hey, because I'm still irritated. I want to make sure they're going to be there, you know. And I'm like, so how come no one gave me a courtesy call? I'm like, you could have at least done that. At this time, I kind of calmed myself down a little bit. And she's like, I don't know. Who did you talk to? I'm like, I talked to Tori. And Tori should have gave me a courtesy call. She knew I was coming there. I'm sure you guys all knew I was coming. I made it clear that, you know, I've been calling you guys like every day, and some, you know, I've been pestering you guys, and I know that, and I know it's not your fault, you know, Rachel, and I'm not trying to take my anger out on you, but you can understand I'm very frustrated. So, oh, I totally understand you're very frustrated. You've been waiting a long time, and I go, but why didn't no one? Because she's more of a higher upper, right? They obviously trusted her to like take emergency phone calls after they all closed down. So I'm like, why didn't you personally call me? I can't remember. Her title's on there on the website if you hit the contact. I'm like, why didn't you person call me? Why didn't Mark, the manager, call me? Why didn't Tori call me? Why didn't somebody call me and say, hey, we're closing early. You could save me a lot of money. I'm like, you realize now that I'm spending $600 for nothing, right? And well, I didn't say for nothing. I said, well, but I said, I'm spending $600 now because this time I didn't know they're going to close for good for the day. And she's like, oh, well, really sorry, but she goes, actually, I'm actually updating the site now, and we're closed for the day. I'm like, oh, interesting. How convenient. So suddenly I call and they're closed for the whole day. And I think truly, you know, maybe the manager really thought it was the best thing to do, say close. But really, no one has a truck with chains that they can make it to work to at least handle phone calls and stuff and handle business and let people know what's going on, you know? So first it was 3 hours late, they're open. Then it was, oh, we're just closed for the day. Please keep checking the website. And I did. And they were closed for the day, I'm like, okay, I got to go home. I got to get this truck back. I can't wait because I know that I already knew they weren't going to open. And they didn't. They didn't open until the next day, which was Friday. So I drive back all the way back here, return the truck, get charged all the money. So after it was all said and done, I'm $600 out of pocket and still no cases. $600 out of pocket, still no cases. Guess what happens? I wake up bright and early the next day. As soon as they're open, like 8:07, bam, I'm calling 8 o'clock. They didn't answer the phone until 8:07. And then I'm like, hey, so this is Neil, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so when are you guys delivering my packages? And I go, hopefully you guys aren't going to be charging me any storage fees. They charge daily storage fees if your package is still staying there when they try to deliver it. And they're like, oh, no, of course not. We're not going to charge you any extra fees because, the inclemental weather, that's an unforeseen foresight. And I'm like, so how come you didn't call me? Like, I asked them again because I was a different person. Like, how come you didn't call me when you closed early? I spent $600 to drive there and back for nothing. How come you didn't call me and give me a courtesy call like, hey, blah, blah. And anyway, at this point, they're just like, I don't know. I'm not sure who you talked to. I'm like, where's Tori at? Is she there? Is she working today? Because, she knew I was coming. How come she didn't call me? And the person's just really pissing me off now because they're just giving me fucking more excuses. Like, well, I'm sorry, sir, but, and like, talk to me like fucking, like, and this was their attitude almost all the time from the very beginning. Just constantly talking to me like that. Like, they're just fucking little immature pieces of shit. And she's just like, oh, well, it's not going to be there for like another week now. We can't schedule an appointment for you. Sorry. So, if you can just wait till we call you. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work for me because every time I wait for you to call me and say a week, and then it turns to another week, turns to another week, and that's why I've been waiting for, a month to get my products. So no, I'm going down there today. I'm like, have me your manager. I want to talk to him. He's going to know this. And so they like, oh, hold on a second. And I'm going to hold for a long ass time. And finally Mark's like, oh, hey, how can I help you? This is Mark, whatever. He's one of the managers. And I'm like, listen, Mark, I'm very pissed off. I'm very irritated. I want you to understand my point of view. Right? He's like, no, I understand that you're angry. I understand that, the unforeseen weather. I'm like, no, this is more than unforeseen weather, okay? That's just one incident. That's $600 you cost me in my pocket that I know you're not going to pay me for. You're not going to reimburse me for. You're not going to get, oh, hey, here's a discount. Here's some money back that I already paid for you. A lot of money to deliver my packages, and you didn't. I go, but I don't expect you to pay me anything. I already know you're not going to do that because I can tell you're a lying company. Like, oh, sir, we don't lie. I'm like, I don't care what you say, Mark. All right, but your company lies. They've lied to me several times. This isn't just about this one incident. This isn't just about, and this is about the tone I was talking to him in. I meditated at the hotel, kind of collecting myself, and so I didn't want to lose it no more. It's not worth it. It's just life. It's just money. Comes and goes. We die. This is what happens. And so I'm like, look, I said, Mark, this isn't about just that one day. This is about the fact that you've had my product for a month. That's unheard of. Unheard of. Does not happen. Have you guys been having some incremental weather this entire time? No, you haven't. That was only those 2 days. So what about all the other times? What's your excuses for all the other times that you didn't have my packages to me and stuff like that? And he's like, well, I'm sorry, sometimes things happen. I'm like, what happened exactly? And he just kept changing, avoiding the topic. I'm like, listen, Mark, I just want you to understand my point of view. Can you at least agree with me that I should have got a courtesy call on that day? Because at this point, I had explained the whole story to him, which I just told you, that, I called Tori and told her I'm on my way. And is there going to be someone there? I want to be guaranteed there's someone going to be there. I'm not going to show up there and there's no one there, or my packages aren't there. I want to know my packages are going to be there. There's going to be someone there to help me. I'm going to get my product. And she said, yes, I can guarantee it, right? And unforeseen weather, can't call you, fucking buildings on fire, whatever, and so I'm like, can you at least agree that I should have got a courtesy call? Because it makes no sense. I understand a storm was coming, but it wasn't like a building was burning down. So why couldn't someone, call me and say, hey, there's no use coming here. No one will be here. You might as well just, hang on the phone. And he's like, I agree with you. He's like, I can see your point of view. Someone should have gave you a courtesy call. I'm like, well, why didn't they, Mark? You're the manager. Why didn't you give me a courtesy call? You knew I was coming, right? He's like, well, I mean, I heard, her talking and stuff. And yeah, I kind of knew you were coming. And I'm like, why didn't you give me a courtesy call? He's like, things were crazy. Things got, we just got the call. And the manager said, go home. I thought you were the manager. Well, the higher-ups told us just go home. And that was that. And I have a feeling Mark was the one that told him that. He's like the main manager there at that facility. But supposedly some higher-upper told him to go home. And so he's like, we didn't even think about it. We're just like, hey, we got to get home. We got to get to our families. And I'm like, oh, okay, so snow's coming and you can't give customers a courtesy call. Well, okay, makes a lot of sense. Most people don't go there to pick up their packages. They get them delivered. So I'm one of the very few people that probably actually going there to get a package that day. So it's not like they have to make a lot of calls. Maybe one, me. maybe two, who knows. And so he's just like, look, I'm like, look, Mark, can you also agree with me that the amount of time I've waited is unnecessary? Can you agree with me that, it makes no sense that a trucker would sit there for an hour? Oh, he was definitely there for an hour. I know, because I asked him to wait there. I'm like, really? I'm like, so did you hear who called me? He's like, oh, Tori called you several times to let you know that he was there and you didn't answer. I'm like, why didn't the trucker knock on the door? I'm like, no, you know what, Mark? You're obviously not going to be cooperative here, right? You're not going to be cooperative because clearly doesn't want to admit, the wrong. I'm like, does it make sense to you that if you were the trucker and you're waiting out there for an hour, that you wouldn't personally call me on your phone? I can't speak for the trucker, but, I heard that he did call you. I'm like, no, he didn't. It's not on my phone record. It's not on my phone. No one called me until like 9 something. So no one called me for no hour. Oh, no, I was right there. I heard Tori call you. I heard her left messages. I'm like, so you can swear in court that you were right there and you heard her calling and making phone calls. And when I got to the office, his office is here and Tori's way over here, right? There's no way he can see her making phone calls. There's walls in between them. So one, he can't see her unless she's staying there for some reason. He wouldn't be barely even able to hear what she was saying, right? I didn't know that at the time because I didn't know the layout of the office when I got there. And so now I'm like, I'm a liar, Anyway, so I'm like, all right. And he kept changing the topic. He's like, oh, the weather was unforeseen. We couldn't prevent that. I'm like, that's not what I'm asking you, Mark. I'm asking about the truck driver that was supposedly here and supposedly was here to drop my packages off. I don't believe you. I don't think the trucker was ever here. He's like, well, you don't have to believe me, but he was there. I'm like, I wonder what kind of evidence you can give that he was actually here in the court of law. Because at this point, I'm willing to go to court now, Mark. He's like, well, I understand you got to do what you got to do, and if that's the way you want to take it. And I'm like, yeah, right now it is the way I want to take it because it's crap. And you're like, fumbling your words. You can't even talk straight because I'm sitting here giving you good points and you don't want to address them. I'm like, what kind of trucker would sit there for an hour and not know how to open the gate? Why didn't he just open the gate and knock on my door? Well, I'm pretty sure he did knock on your door. You're pretty sure? Or are you sure? Like, did he tell you he knocked on my door? He's like, well, I can go find the trucker that worked that day. I'm like, well, I just thought you said you're pretty sure he knocked on the door. It's just, in other words, he's agreeing that it makes sense he should knock on the door. But he didn't. He never knocked on the door. I know he didn't because I would have heard it. Unless he was just like, knock on the door like this. Even that I probably would have heard woke up. I wake up pretty easily. Anyway, so he wouldn't agree to it. He just kept changing the topic, would not agree. I'm like, Mark, listen, you're the manager, right? He says, yeah. You're open today, right? He says, yeah, this was Friday now. I said, you're open till when? He says, 4:30. I said, will you personally be there until 4:30, Mark? He said, yeah. I said, can you guarantee me that? Because I'm driving up there now. I already spent $600. I'm about to go get another U-Haul. I'm going to drive up there and spend another $400 as long as I don't have to like get stuck there again because of some unforeseen weather circumstances and stay in a hotel. But I'm going to have to spend another $400 to get up there and get my lights. That's $1,000, Mark, that I'm spending now just to go get my lights because you guys are too lazy to get a trucker out here and do it. And, or whatever the reason is, because you guys don't like me. I don't care. I don't like you either. It doesn't matter. I just want my products. And I'm like, can you guarantee me, Mark, right now on the phone, guarantee me, man to man, that you're going to be there until 4:30? He's like, I will be here till 4:30. I guarantee that. He says, outside of some unforeseen circumstances, like, you know, some crazy weather or something, he's like, I will be here until 4:30. I said, so even if it snows, oh my God, you're going to be here, right? Be there. I'm going to be there. And he's like, yes. I said, okay, so outside of, I don't know, a tornado slamming down or something crazy or some earthquake, you're going to be there till 4:30. He says, yes. And I said, and if something like that were to happen, Mark, some zombie apocalypse or hurricane, whatever, you'll give me a courtesy call? He says, yes, what's your number? I gave my number, I gave my name. He said, I will give you a courtesy call if anything like that happens. I said, okay, I'm leaving now. I'm on my way. He says, okay. I said, I hope you're there because I'm coming and I want my stuff. And he's like, I will be here, I guarantee it. And at this time, you know, I'm calming down and stuff. I'm like, okay, thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it. I apologize for my anger. He's like, I totally understand why you're angry. I'm like, but you guys are an incompetent company. And I'm, you know, it's, you know, maybe it's not your fault. You know, I don't know how much you had to play in it. You are the manager. So, but I am coming and I just want you to know that, you know, that whoever doesn't deserve my frustration, you know, then I'm sorry. And then he's like, hey, I totally understand, it's cool. And so anyway, so I had to pay though the so-called delivery costs, $56 extra, $56.26, I think it was something like that. And I had to pay the extra money for him supposedly trying to deliver the package. Yeah, sure it was. Waited out there for an hour, sure he did. Gave me phone calls, definitely not. So even if he did stop by, right, he should have called me like I asked him to. Should have knocked on the door like he's supposed to, you know, or like I asked, at least like I asked to, right? Anyway, so I drive all the way back up there. This time the snow had cleared up a lot, so it wasn't such a bad drive. Got there in really good time. I show up there. They make me wait forever. I'm having to sign this and sign that and pay the thing. And the person doesn't know what she's doing. She just seems like she's new. I see Tori. She gives me and my girlfriend this big old attitude look and then like slams the door and she walks away. She wouldn't even talk to us. Like the main people, Rachel and Tori and Mark, wouldn't even talk to me when I got there. Like they all just went out other places. And then I go wait at I think it was door number 1, gate number 1, where they called it. And it's a big warehouse, and they'll meet you there. So I'm like, okay. So I take my U-Haul, then pack it in, ring the little buzzer, it says the ring, and I'm waiting there for a good at least 15 minutes. I mean, I know they're doing this on purpose, right? And he gets out there, and now this guy was cool. He had a mask on and stuff, and I guess because it was cold, and he was nice enough to actually take the forklift and put the pallet on the actual inside of the U-Haul. Then I can cut it out and take each of the box of cases and stack them inside the U-Haul. And so it didn't take terribly long. If I would have had it done, you know, if I would have had to on the ground do that and slide each box, it would take a lot longer. So he saved me a lot of time. That was really cool of him. And so that was that pretty much. So now I finally got the cases to come back home and finish the lights, and that's what I did. And had them all ready and in there by Saturday, or was it Friday night? Sorry, so that it would be picked up on Saturday. That's what they said, because they usually don't pick up on Saturday. But they said at least not for ground, but they said for the holidays they do. Otherwise they get too backed up. So that's the long story. Now, I might or might not have. The guy told me that I didn't have to take all the pallets with me if they couldn't fit in the U-Haul, and I might or might not have been able to fit them in there. And all the trash, you know, the plastic and stuff wrapped around them, all the little things that come off and stuff like that, might or might not have been left there, because I might not be able to remember because I'm too stupid to open a gate. And didn't get no phone calls from them anyways. I doubt they ever want to talk to me again. I'll definitely never do business with them again. So that's the story. I do apologize, guys. It was all in my hand. I did everything I could, everything in my power to like try to, you know. And if I had to wait for them, I still wouldn't have my cases. I might have been waiting for who knows how long, you know, until I finally got them. I might have had to like either eventually drive down there or take some legal action or whatever to finally get the cases. Like it took that to get my cases. It's insane, just insane. So I wish I had the time to sue this company, and maybe I'll find the time to do it, because just out of principle, this is bullcrap. Not that the money is worth it. I don't care about the money. I care about the principle, right? That you run your business right, that you treat customers right, and don't fucking lie to them. Tell them the fucking truth, why it's taken so long, you know, and they would never do it. So if you feel like me after hearing the story, and you feel like this company is total trash, I'm personally going to go and leave a 1-star rating everywhere I can. If you can leave in the comments, anywhere else you can find to leave a rating for this company, I'm going to try Yelp and like Google and things like that. Obviously their website, and then I'm reporting the Better Business Bureau. If you know any other websites like the Better Business Bureau, please let me know. And I'm not asking anyone to do anything. All I know is that numbers speak loud. They do. Action speaks loud. And if this company got hit with 500, 600, or 1,000, you know, 1-star ratings because of their poor fucking service, and because people choose to do what they want to do in numbers and belief and power, right, then that would definitely affect the company to the point where they're like, hey, maybe we should stop treating customers like that. And it's probably not going to do much, but enough for the managers to go, hey, this is bad. This is bad. We need to never let this happen again. And maybe then I'll get a phone call. Maybe that freaking, you know, vice president or president or CEO will actually answer their phone, or give me a fucking call. Yeah, call them all. Maybe they'll give me a call back, you know, and say, hey, we want to rectify this. What we did, you know, we want to explain what happened, and we're really sorry. You know, something, just anything at all. Just an explanation of that makes no explanation at all of why they took so long. They never gave me even one explanation for why they took so long to get my packages. Like, so numbers speak loud, people. Numbers speak loud. Okay, for reasons that you should already know, I can't tell you what to do. But numbers, I can tell you that a bunch of 1-star reviews speak loud, super loud. And thank you for watching. Hope you guys forgive me. It was totally out of my power. There was nothing I can do, guys. It really wasn't. I offered everyone refunds several times, and everyone was very patient and said, hey, it's cool. Most everyone. A few people said, yeah, I want a refund. And I don't even trip. It's all good. You deserve your refund. You don't have. I'm surprised that so many of you guys stuck with me, and I thank you so much that you actually stuck with me through all this and this bullshit, and trusted me enough to not ask for a refund. But I would have totally given it to you, just so you know. And those people that I did give it to, I gave it to them. And same thing with the door stars. There was just it's not how I do business. And so when my lights from now on, if I don't have them in stock, I'm putting sold out. I'm not taking pre-order. I mean, people ask me for pre-orders. That was the thing. It wasn't like I offered it or said, hey. People kept emailing me and say, hey, I understand that you don't have them right now, but can I still pay for it? And when you have it, you can send it. I'm not going to do it no more. No more pre-orders anymore. From now on, when I don't have a light in stock on my site, it's going to say sold out. And if you buy it, I'm going to say, sorry, I'm going to have to give you a refund. And until I actually have them ready to ship. And I don't care if the company tells me, hey, I'll have your cases there tomorrow. I'm still not going to take orders until I have them in my possession and they're ready to ship, because I don't do business that way. You know, I'm very much like a perfectionist when it comes to this kind of stuff. And so that's why this was so frustrating to me, because they were messing up my business ethics, because I would never do business like them, ever. That is not me. I get an order, I'm down there that very day. If you made an order late in the day, unfortunately, you know, they pick up at 6, so you have to wait until the next day for them to pick it up. So it depends what time you order. But when I get my order, I take it down there that day. Boom, they're there. Unless it's a Saturday, Sunday, because they don't pick up on Saturday, Sunday. I guess, unless it's the holiday season, which now, and I guess until like Christmas or so, they'll be taken and pick up on Saturdays, which is cool. That's ground as well. But Saturday and Sunday are the days that I take off and don't work. Well, actually, Sunday I still deliver because I know they'll pick up on Monday. I won't have to do it on Monday, and I still sometimes have to make deliveries on Monday because I would have gotten orders on Sunday. I took them all down there on Sunday for the picked up on Monday, and then come Monday early, I still get a bunch of orders before 6, and so then I drive all those down there. All the ones that happen between too late. If I already driven down there for that day, then you have to wait till the next day. But that's how I am. The most you wait is an extra day. So thank you for watching, guys. Double peace. Stoner Leo. Yeah, he knows what's up. He knows how it is. He's just chilling, man. I almost got emotional there at the end. I just really feel bad about everyone having to wait that long, and it's not cool. It's not cool.